Good morning, and welcome to DeepTarget's user group webinar for this month, September 2018. I'm David Kingsbury. I'm so excited to be part of customer success here with DeepTarget, and I have with me my sidekick, Helen Triplett.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Helen. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Fantastic. So, if everybody would just help us by chatting to us if there's any issues with the webinar this morning, just to make sure that you guys are hearing us okay. That would be fantastic, so that there's no confusion on our side, and make sure that you're hearing all the content that we have prepared for you today. So we're very excited to be presenting to you a lot of topics today, right, Helen?
That's right. We got a big
yeah, we got a big stack of information here. So anything that we cover that you'd like more detail, please reach out to myself or Helen, and we're going to be giving you some calls to action as well, so that you can stay as informed as possible with all of the information we're sharing. So the topics today are, first of all, we're going to talk about industry trends again this morning. I want to share a few things about this with you to make sure you are personalizing your campaigns and your ads, right, Helen?
That's right.
And there's ways to do that. We're going to go heavy into the release that's coming up this October. We are within a couple weeks of release, and we're very excited about some of these capabilities as well. We're going to talk about a case study that is going on right now with one of you guys out there that we're very proud of as well. And of course, we're going to award the Ad of the Month and the Digital Marketing Superstar of the Month. So, got all sorts of jitters about who those are.
That's
don't
right.
you agree? Yeah, Helen?
Drum roll.
Okay, fantastic. So, let's get into those digital marketing trends real quick. And this is, I just want to iterate a little bit more on this. We've talked about it most every webinar, but I want to make sure that everybody realizes how important it is to personalize your content. And I know I've talked to some FIs that say, we're concerned about it might be a little bit too much engaging with them, but we're telling you that 66% of consumers say they are extremely or somewhat likely to switch brands if they feel like a person rather than a number. So that means they want to be engaged. In fact, we know the younger generations value brands that are transparent, authentic, and personal. And so the millennials are driving interaction, right, Helen?
That's right, they are.
And Gen Zs are right behind them. Gen Zs are turning 21 this year, and they're coming on strong. But see this graph here, this chart from Salesforce, studying B2C, business to consumer, and business to business. 55% of consumers expect companies to send them personalized offers. 58 of them say it's absolutely critical or very important for companies to provide a personalized experience. And then finally, as mentioned above, 52% are likely to switch if they find a better personal experience elsewhere. And so we know a lot of you guys are doing that. And so we want to show a couple of examples of that. And the messaging here is make sure that you're providing that relevant engagement through targeting, so that those that are or are most likely interested in your products are being shown those products. We're going to help you with that with some automation here we'll talk about in just a moment, and then personalized engagement. So remember, you can personalize inside of DeepTarget, and you can prioritize inside of DeepTarget. So every single campaign ad actually can have the first name appended for that individual. And not only that, right, Helen? You can actually pull from the data and provide customized rates to specific groups.
That's right. If there are other fields in your data that you want to show on your ad, you can add those fields in there.
That's right. Don't forget that. So that helps personalize those ads. And the reason that's important is I'm going to show you this because I participated in this to some degree. This is Coca-Cola's Share a Coke campaign of 2014. And it was the most successful marketing personalization campaign of all time. And a real simple concept was, if you guys remember, you could buy a six-pack of Coke and it would have names on it, and then you would go share that Coke with other people. And people loved it. And sales increased, which is phenomenal for a commodity like this. Went up 30% that year when they introduced that, which absolutely
that's outrageous.
It is. So the most important word, at least to the younger generation, is their name. So they like to hear it and hear it often. So how are we doing that? So we love Elga. This is Elga using a personalized ad where they actually gamified a CD earlier this year. And if Deborah's out there, way to go, Deborah. But a wildly successful campaign and among a younger generation, as well as a demographic that is of lower income as well.
One thing to note here is that this is an ad that they created externally outside of DeepTarget,
right.
Uploaded it, and then added personalization on top of it. You don't have to do all your ad creation within DeepTarget to have personalization.
Exactly. Great, thank you. And I'm remiss, I should have had the mobile. They had a mobile component ad as well. Okay. So here, this is a great one from Wanna Gas. We talked about this earlier. Very, very personalized as well. And then they use this theme, "You Are Here," as all of us realize on a mapping perspective, to actually promote a vacation loan type of consumer ad. And that was great as well. And then we love what Cascade did earlier this year, and we showed you that. This is actually displaying a real happy member and a real happy loan officer on their category level campaign for auto loans. And I know several of you guys out there actually put many of your loan officers and your people out on signage, perhaps even billboards. And it would be powerful if you use that same type of look and feel inside of DeepTarget, and you can, and people respond to that. So think about that as well. I can't show a great ad unless I show Andrew's, the one that targeted age 71 and greater with an amazing image that pulls on the heartstrings of anyone that has certainly grandchildren or young children. For his generation and yours, we can help. Had a dramatic impact on their investment product sales with significant, and you can see it on our webinar history on YouTube, the results they had was just amazing. And then finally, I can't help but love this suite of campaigns from Eglin, our friends at Eglin, focusing not only on generational divides for their targeting, but also gender. And I can't help but say that this is me up here at the top. And Helen,
yeah.
is that not you when you're doing a paint job around the house?
That's me for sure.
And you can certainly identify with that. And they didn't personalize, but they could have also personalized as well. But what else did they add was they added a funny component to it. This is many millennials today like to at home. I'm sure they wear a cape around the house. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay. So I think we got that message across to everyone. Personalize, please personalize your ad campaigns. You'll see the benefits of them for sure. Okay, so this is the big excitement for today, what's coming, and it's our fall release, and we have some great new capabilities that we've started talking about with you guys. And first up is build your own rules. So this is going to be a real advantageous for you guys to be more on your own in you're setting this up. You won't rely on us for all your rules. Some of them that are highly complicated that some of you guys use, you'll still want us involved. But then again, remember you can proactively create your campaigns weeks, even months in advance, and have them launch automatically, so you can be well prepared for that. I'm particularly excited about category level historical analytics and inside the category level analytics. Helen is really excited about the UI improvements, right, Helen?
That's right. For all you people that are out there creating banners, you're going to like this because you're going to have fewer clicks.
That's right. Less clicks, more efficient, and happier you'll be. And then we're going to look at detargeting. So this is our first real dive into some level of automation. This is a precursor also to our ability to add AI and machine learning to DeepTarget, which we are working on adamantly internally. So we're going to talk you through that. And then introducing a new KPI, Key Performance Indicator, we call KMI, the Key Impression Indicator, and how that relates, the impressions relate to your sales. Okay, so let's keep going. So Helen, I'll let you talk through the build your rule capability.
Okay, right now when you want when you create a targeted by rule campaign, you have to submit your rule request to DeepTarget to have that rule created. We are allowing you the capability now. You can always go the request rule route, but you have the capability now to build your own rule. And by doing that, you can access that through the flyout on a targeted by rule campaign, and it's called Build Rule, or you can go into the campaign settings tab, campaign settings, and look at the Build Rule tab, and you'll be presented. Go ahead, David. You'll be presented with it'll be a build rule form will come up. You'll type in your description, and you'll be able to look at the categories on the left will be what's in your data and what you're calling that in your data. So if you want to do an age is greater than or equal to 21, and you can, add another line, so you can add account type is not in a certain type of a field. So let's just say if somebody's over 21 who doesn't have an auto loan, in this case, you'll be able to select both new auto and used auto. So on these rules, these all will be and categories. So it's like age is greater than 21 and the account type is not if, and so, so on and so forth. The only area that there are any or conditions are when you have an account type, and you'll be able to pre-select from that checkbox of categories. But this is going to be great for you. So when you hit save, it will automatically process that. It will tell you what your reach is, and you can publish that immediately once you get your notification that that process is complete. So you don't have to do the request from us to us and get that notification back. So this will be quick for you.
That's right. Streamline the whole process. That's fantastic. Great. Thank you, Helen, for that. So we're excited about this, helping you guys be more successful. And then we're going to head right into the category level historical analysis. So as you guys take a peek at your campaign category report, you'll remember it defaults to 30 days back look. We've extended this one in this case all the way back to January. At this time, all you can do is select all or auto loan, and you can only look at individual categories. So what if you actually wanted to see how your auto loan is performing versus your consumer loan versus your credit card, that sort of thing? Well, in the new version, what you can actually do is under the category dropdown is you can select the categories you'd like to see individually based on any time frame that you have as well, and it will give you this block diagram, graph, if you will, of your totals for the time period. But then Helen, you can go over and hit this historical button here, which is brand new, and when you do that, it's going to give you all the historical information in that time frame for impressions and clicks related to those categories that you have selected. So all 5 categories show up here on the right. You can see the impressions. And so that gives you a deeper understanding. And so you can immediately see, oh, that's right. I turned on my consumer loans 1st of April, starting those running into this quarter. That had the effect here that I was looking at. Well, maybe I want to dive into that a little bit more.
But David, before you go into that, I want to go back here. You were never able to get that view in any aspect of the product before at a category level. You were able to get it at a campaign level, which is the next slide, but you would have to have gone to campaign performance on every one of your campaigns.
Exactly.
But now,
so,
this was a roll-up, and now you can look at.
We do all that math behind the scenes of all the campaigns. If you have multiple campaigns running in auto loans, we'll say maybe you have multi-generational running, and so forth. We roll up all that information so you can have a top-line view at each category. And then if you wanted to just compare two, let's say, like I said, auto loan, consumer loan, I select those, apply that, and now I have just a view of those two over time. And sometimes that can provide you some real insight. And we're looking forward to you guys using this and trying it and sharing with us the insight that you get from it. But then, even more excitingly, so let's take a step back in time. So this is Wanagas allowed us to case study their system back in June of this year. And they had 2 campaigns running that would switch out. They based on timing. The first campaign would run for a month, and then the next campaign a month, and then they would revert back to the old campaign. And so they were doing this to provide some freshness and a new look and feel. But the only way I could actually see the results was actually looking at each campaign individually. Now with the new look, I can pick consumer loan. It'll show me all the campaigns running coincident. And now I can see those 2 campaigns directly in line and how they're running. makes me much more efficient. I can actually use this for a series of A/B testing to see how they're performing with the targeted groups that I'm pursuing. It's really powerful set of capability. So we're very excited about that going forward. So can't wait till you guys are trying this. This is a week view, by the way. I'm going to show you that day view. Don't forget you can have multiple scales of how you're looking at your data as well. Okay, and don't forget you can go back. I was showing one of you guys earlier this week. We went all the way back to 1st of 2017 to see how their campaigns were running over the whole year. It was really a nice perspective that we couldn't do easily before. Okay. Okay, on to the UI ad creation improvements. And Helen, I'll let you speak to this.
One of the things that, we listened to you because the creation of ads for online banking and mobile looked a little differently, and they, required you to do a lot of clicking through it. So we're trying to streamline that a bit. For anybody with online banking, the ad size that you're going to see is what your default size is for your online banking system. So let's just say on this particular one is a 728 by 90. That's if you're a Share 1 online banking. That would be presented to you. Plus, you can do your custom sizes as well. So if you go on to the next one, so for your mobile, when you're on your mobile tab, when you click the plus sign, you're going to be presented with this particular form, and it's going to show your default sizes that you can create for your mobile ad sizes. But now the density form that always was, once you dismiss this form, you always had another form to bring up. That's included on this particular form, and the default is always going to be 2x density. And so that'll save some more clicks.
That's right, and it reduces confusion as well, because you tend to forget some of these. So we think we've cut the click-through rate in half on this. And so we've got a whole bunch of other improvements. I know many of you have asked us for more things, and we're going to continue to improve our UI overall going forward. Okay? So great. Here is the discussion on detargeting. So everybody get ready. This is an exciting new capability that it has a, if you will, a setup component to it initially, and I know that many of you guys, we reviewed it with our advisory council a few weeks ago, and they had, of course, a great response. Well, why can't you just have the system tell us how to set up the optimized detargeting? And so we are going to do, we're going to look heavily into that. But what we can do is, what you're seeing here are some charts on two components. One is how many impressions did it take on average across your entire membership customer base to get a click, and then how many days did it take from the initial impression to the initial click. So that's some pretty amazing analytics that we can dive into, and therefore help you set the most optimal detargeting. So what is detargeting about? Detargeting is about urgency of follow-up. As we talked about previously, it's about helping the system be more automated in the fact that customers are not showing interest or responsiveness. So let's turn this off individually. So notice what we're doing. We're getting more and more intelligent about each individual and their interactions with the campaigns, and therefore reacting to them. So that's the path that we're taking. And I know you guys have probably seen this chart before, but this schematic shows you how it works. It gives you three variables. One says the days on that you want to make sure a campaign is running, and the number of impressions that you would like to see to have occurred to ensure that there is relevance or not. And if in this example, in 30 days, they've had seven impressions and they have not clicked, then the system will automatically turn off that campaign for that individual. That campaign ad will pull out of the stack automatically and remain off for another 30 days and then turn back on automatically. So that's the whole idea behind this, and it's pretty sophisticated technology underneath the system. However, it's going to show up to you quite simply. So it's on a campaign by campaign basis, and it will be this segment here where you'll click to turn it on. You'll set target on days, minimum impressions required, and target off days. It's just that simple. And what it's all about is optimizing your targeting, and it's providing more relevant ads. So that if this is not of interest right now, it will turn itself off based on your parameters, and it will show them more other ads that are more relevant, and we believe, we're certain, will improve your responsiveness. So all this will be moved into your analytics as well. So when it turns off, your impression count will stop, so that won't drive up your numbers in your analytics. And certainly, while it is on, we'll capture the clicks just as normal. Right, Ellen? Anything?
I don't have anything.
So we're real excited about this, and we know several customers that are excited about starting out with this. And again, you could do this on a campaign by campaign level to start it out and see the results of that. And we'll be working with several along that same line as well. Okay. All right. One last thing. There's a couple more things, honestly, but this is a nice thing. So we have had release notes. We've had how to read the management report. We have documentation, honestly, that you used to have to request from us all the time. Well, we're now going to make that a part of the actual product itself. And under the support tab, you'll see a downloads tab. Under it, there'll be a series of folders, and here is more readily available information for you. So quite often we'll send you in this direction if you need some more details on certain things like banners, certainly release notes, capabilities, HTML, zip file files, and so forth. So this is just an example. We intend to, once we create these folders, we'll just continue to use those, right?
And one thing to note is under the support downloads, those are going to be those white papers and things that we're going to present to you. Still under your reports tab, you will have reports downloads. So as you generate management reports and campaign category reports, those will still be under the download section under that reports tab. Right. So there'll be two downloads areas in the product. Yeah.
Very good. More informational under here from a support perspective. Reports will be more downloads of analytics and so forth. Okay? Excellent. Okay. So let's have a conversation now about the new KPI we call the Key Impression Indicator, which we've acronymed as KMI. It's easier to say, and it's all about impressions. And it is, I'm going to go into it in detail in just a second, but it's related to the KEI, meaning using some of the same data. But the KEI, if you remember, is actually on your management report. It will show you for the particular month how many unique users saw at least one ad, had one impression. So in this case, 21,330 users saw at least one ad, and how many unique clicks. So if Sally clicked on the auto loan ad 3 times, it would reduce that down to 1 click, because that's a fair, that's much fairer. And then it takes that number of unique users, divides it by the total number of unique clicks for that time period, and that produces your KEI, your key engagement indicator. And therefore, we produce a scale here that gives you an indication of how you're performing overall. 1 to 50 outstanding, 51 to 100 excellent, and so forth. And it also allows us to rank you amongst all of our customers. So we have over 200 customers today. We can tell you exactly where you fall in line there, and that can make you feel good, and it can make you feel like you're doing what you should be doing, that kind of thing. But what we have also left out is sales transactions. And so that has come up several times over the past year or more, and most of the industry now is actually reviewing impressions to transactions, sales transactions, more as a leading indicator in the industry. And in fact, some have moved away from clicks, and I think that's more so they can just charge you more money for your ads, honestly. But it's a valid point, and so we're adding that. Your management report will, in this next release, have two new columns at the end, which are related to sales. And what this is it's going to take your unique users again and divide it by the number of sales that have occurred, and give you a KMI rating as well. And we have created a scale, which is if it takes 1 to 100 users with an impression to close a transaction, then that's outstanding. To 100 to 200, excellent. 200 to 300, good. And their 300 plus is fair, depending on. And so we know we have quite a few customers that actually aren't tracking sales transactions within DeepTarget. They have either other systems that do that collection of information. So this would show up as basically a 0 on the side here. But we're looking forward to everybody's feedback, and from the initial reviews that we've had with quite a few customers, they really like this, and so we hope you find it to be valuable as well. Again, if you would like to host this success meeting with our teams, we could walk you through it and look at your reports specifically. This will be available again as soon as we release in the next couple of weeks. Okay. All right. So that's exciting. So your report will look more like this going forward. For those of you who used our close percentage column, that was just a trend column, and we had several questions about why are you removing that and so forth. Well, it was more of a trending device. It wasn't factual in its exact calculation, so it was a trending kind of percentage. So this KMI is much stronger and helpful. Okay, and so notice, remember, down here on the right, all of your sales transactions are expanded out into those actual product categories that closed a transaction. And we've had many requests to, can we help expand that into the overall value that comes through or is influenced by DeepTarget. So we have developed an ROI calculator. And so this is brand new, and we have also vetted this with a number of customers as well. And what it is we have split the tiers of customers into these 4, 5,000 less users, digital users total, 5 to 10, 10 to 25, and 25,000 digital users plus. We allow you a couple of things. One, this is actual data on how our customers at each tier is performing the previous month. And so for an example, this is actually a KMI number on average for all our customers who are 5,000 digital users or less. The average was 88 of their members were required unique members logged in to see an impression to receive 57 transactions. Okay. Our top 10 customers actually received a KMI, or number of users for a single sale, 48, with total sales of, on average for those top 10, 104. And then finally, our top customer in that tier received 35 user impressions to a sales transaction, resulting in 141 sales. Right, Helen? You with me?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. She's right here. She's perfect. So these are the ranges, and we take your actual results from the previous month, and in this case, this example for this particular customer, they had 71 sales transactions. So what you can see is they're on the high end of the average, not quite in the top 10, but could be close. And so that gives you a perspective of how you're performing. And then we take your loan, we expand out all of your sales for that month. We look at an estimated interest revenue per user or per loan for that 1 month, and we multiply it out, 25 by 100 for the auto loan, and we add those up, and this is your estimated total interest revenue that you received off of those loans, those number of loans you closed in that 1 month. We know that those loans won't come to an end in 1 month. They'll extend for quite a bit longer, generally at least 12 months, if not more. And we extend it for 12 months, and therefore your total net sales or revenue, interest revenue for those sales that occurred in that 1 month annualized is $80,400. So that gives you a very strong indication of the influence that DeepTarget has provided you. And what I don't show is we also give you a direct ROI. There's some hidden columns down below. If you know how much you are paying each month for DeepTarget, then your ROI multiplier is down below. I don't show that here now because quite often many of the marketing teams don't really know what they're paying for DeepTarget, but if you send this off to the CFO and they want to analyze it, we're happy for you to do that. And again, all of this will be a spreadsheet. It's fully editable by you, so you can change the values and play with it as you wish, and schedule a success meeting with us if you'd like us to walk you through it. Okay, so we're real excited about this. This created quite a bit of buzz and some eye-popping results, honestly. So so look for this potentially as part of your download page we just talked about, or even augmenting your management report in our next release. So we've got a lot of possibilities for it. Okay, so I hope you're excited about that. And then finally, we want to round out, as always, there is a capability to be fully ADA compliant within DeepTarget, and I'll make sure that you see that the campaign description under your campaign settings, right, Helen?
That's right. Be sure you're putting that information in there so so people with disabilities can get that information on their screen readers.
That's right. So as someone who is disabled, can't see well, might be classified as legally blind, can hover their mouse over the ad, and the ad will read to them that this is a credit card promotion for ABC credit union or bank. This ad has, and you don't have to provide this much detail, but you can just say that if clicked upon, you will be sent to a particular URL, loan page, that kind of thing. So be mindful of this, that we have that capability. Okay. All right. Fantastic. So you still with me, Helen?
I'm still with you.
Excellent. Let's see how we're doing on time. Great. So just a couple more quick items. We're very excited with our case study this month. We want to thank Sarah Groves, Marketing Manager at Helena Community Credit Union out in Montana. For those of you guys that remember last month, or saw with us last month, we had another Montana winner. So Montana's racking up the scores now. Sarah and her team, they're a $200 million asset company, FI, 4 locations, 16,000 total members, 5,000 net teller, and 3,000 mobile. And Sarah had launched a generational focused set of campaigns in their auto loans, and she has just some phenomenal looking ads on the online banking, right, Helen?
That's right.
They're really impressive. And I would click on this one right here, right now, because I love convertibles. We've spoken with Sarah since then as well. She is personalizing each one of these as well. And they were running just one mobile ad, which you'll see is getting exceptional click-throughs. And this is actually a DeepTarget backdrop ad, and they took advantage of it. But she'll be generationally adding this and personalizing it to reflect this look and feel as well. And so her overall results are we took it all the way back to the beginning of the year. These ads have been running pretty much since then. Her main edits to them were in April, but almost 400,000 impressions, over 10,000 unique impressions. Users saw it. Clicks at 375, a KEI score of 30 users to get a click, which is, as you remember, outstanding. So that's fantastic. And we did a quick historical look back on all of those 4 campaigns running and their effectiveness as well. And in fact, the mobile had the most click-through, but the online banking ones were still very credible results. And the overall closure rate from the beginning of the year till now is 232 accounts opened. If you do a total KMI on that, it's 47 users that saw an impression to a closed account, which is also outstanding. So great work to Sarah. So we really appreciate her allowing us to share that results there. And so our September 2018 ad of the month goes to who, Helen?
It's going to go to Sarah.
It's going to go to Sarah. So Sarah, great work. Fantastic ad. Very proud. Sarah couldn't be with us today. She's off doing some more work, but she was really excited to receive that award. So we'll get that plaque out to her next week. And then for the Digital Marketing Superstar Award, we can't say enough about 5-star. Oh my gosh. We've got Mike Bridges and his team there, and I know Mike's listening in, and he's excited. We had a great discussion with him earlier this week, he and Rebecca, and the fact that their KEI is at 20 users to get a click, and then KMI of 78 to get a sales transaction, 1,164 clicks in August, 294 influence sales. Fantastic results. We're so happy for Mike and his team, and 5-star. Big round of applause. Mike, I know you didn't want to step up to the podium, but congratulations. I can feel a big smile across your face. We'll send a plaque out to you here shortly. I want to remind everybody how excited we are about the results and the fact that so many of our customers are in the outstanding level, and we'll continue to track that. So congratulations to that. You guys are doing some amazing work out there, so we're so proud of you. So that's everything that we had. Congratulations to our ad winners. Congratulations to everybody in the results. Helen, what do you have to say? Anything else to add?
Get ready for the new product.
Get ready for the new release, and schedule a success meeting with us. We'd be really excited to sit down and go through the numbers with you and best practices and show you some of these capabilities, some of these analytical reports we're diving into. And in fact, many of you know Sauger, who's our data scientist behind the scenes. He's in his office right now, just covered with reams of data output and just living the life. So let us know. So thanks, everybody. We're going to end the webinar at this point. Watch for more information coming soon as we roll out this new release. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.